Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and it's time to add some new acquisitions to the ever-overflowing comic book vault. This week we've got 6 brand new issues, so let's get started. Let's bookend it with Batman, shall we? We're going to start off this week with Batman Arkham Unhinged number 5. Once again, this is a book that chronicles some stuff that happened before Arkham City, before the video game Arkham City, and I'm still enjoying the heck out of this. I love how it's different writers and artists each time. It's all these fun standalone stories. I love standalone stories in monthly comic books. It's always fun to come and see what different people are trying to do with different universes, and I really enjoy it. So this time, they're going in and telling us about some minor players in Arkham City, and I think this is a really cool thing to do. It's such a big, giant world in that game, and there's so many possibilities for going back and doing different people's backstories and finding out how things got to where they did in various places in that game. It's a lot like No Man's Land, just such a big, giant, sprawling thing. I've always said that Arkham City could have been its own giant mega crossover event instead of a video game. Here, we get the background of Sickle and the Hammer, and they're the conjoined twins that were I think they were a boss at Arkham City. I know they were in the game, and I think they were a boss, and they're these conjoined twins that the Joker hires, and in this we find out how they got split up, because in the game Batman fights both of them separately, and each one is missing an arm, and I think in the game we're told that they're twins, and here we find out where they came from, and they were in a circus, and eventually they left there, and the Joker gets a hold of them in Arkham City, and we find out here how they get split off. There's also stuff in here about Dr. Thomas Elliot, who, interestingly, is not Hush yet. Now, I haven't played every nook and cranny of Arkham City. I got through the main story mode, and I don't remember Hush being in the main story mode, but I do remember him being somewhere in the game, being told that he's somewhere in the game. I know there's an action figure of him. Unless I'm mistaken and it's Arkham Asylum, but I'm almost sure that Hush was in that game. And so what I'm really surprised by is that here we see Dr. Thomas Elliot, and he's not Hush yet. And so I wonder if this book is going to do its own version of Hush. Like, how does he become Hush within Arkham City or while Arkham City is going on? And unless I'm just confused, there's this part where Nightwing and Bruce are talking, and Nightwing says, "Who's Thomas Elliot?" And red flags went up for me. I was like, wait a minute, what stories have happened comic book wise in this, and what happened? Because of course this is its own continuity basically, but clearly a lot of things that happened in regular continuity had to have happened leading up to this, because I mean, you know, Bane's in Arkham City, so like, where did Bane come from if Nightfall didn't happen, that sort of thing. But anyway, this is a fun standalone story, and it does really feel like maybe they're going to come back and do more things with those two. I don't think it was just setting them up for the game. I really think that maybe they'll come back and do something else with it, or at least they're using this to springboard into some other Joker stuff later on. So we'll see. That's really cool. Okay, so I skipped the other 2 big new number 1s that Marvel's been doing the last few weeks, and kind of regret it. I wanted to review Captain Marvel number 1, and couldn't get my Captain-y little hands on a copy when I went into the store the week that they had that came out. So I haven't gotten Captain Marvel number 1 yet. I'm hearing great things about it. I've heard a few people say that they've been reading reviews that are kind of unfavorable towards it, but Dan really liked it. Tori GNR1 really liked it, and Manos really liked it, and so anyway, I really want to read it. I haven't gotten to do that yet. I also skipped Hawkeye, which I heard great things about, and the only reason I did was because I'm just not a big Hawkeye person, and I've got a lot of other things going on my polls right now, so I thought that it would only be fair for me to at least pick up one of Marvel's new big number 1s going on right now, and of course when Marvel Now happens in a few months, I'll try some of those also. But anyway, so I went ahead and bought Gambit number 1, and I loved this. I thought this was great. I'm not a big Gambit guy. I'm not a big X-Men guy, period, and so I gotta tell you, as much as I really enjoyed this, I don't know if I'm going to keep on this book just because I'm not a big X-Men guy, I'm not a big Gambit person, but I did want to read it and review it for you folks, and if you really like Gambit, I think you're really going to like this. This is Asmus. This is a creative team I don't know. Let me find the names here. The writer is James Asmus, and the penciler is Clay Mann. These are not a writer and artist that I immediately recognize, but Gambit But Asmus has a fantastic voice for Gambit. He's funny, he's witty, he's clever, and he gets to go do more thievery in this, which is really great, because of course that's what Gambit was before he became an X-Man. And one of the things I really like about this is that it kind of plays with the idea of the world being more or less the way it is in real life, but there's little interesting quirks, like who would be bankrolling all of the supervillains' big giant world domination plots. You know, how do they get their funding? And this kind of explores that a little bit. So there's this really rich guy who bankrolls villains' projects, and when they fail, part of his package is that he gets to keep their failed technologies and experiments, and that's how he builds his wealth. I think that's really fantastic. That's fascinating. And Gambit goes to a gala this guy's holding and decides that he's going to rob this guy and that he's going to steal something from him. And I think that's really cool. And so it's like he takes a break from being an X-Man for a while, and he's going to go steal from this guy. And honestly, I may have missed it. I'm not real sure exactly why he decided to go steal from this guy, if this is some kind of a superhero project or if it's just for him. But it really didn't feel like it. It really felt like he decided to make an exception in this case and go back to his old life for just a minute. But the intrigue of the kind of work that he does is really cool, and I like how he goes in and we kind of get his philosophy on stealing things, on the kind of crime he does, where he says, you know, I don't make a plan because so many different things can change in the moment, that you've got to be good enough that you can go in and 100% improv it, and it's really fun to see the kinds of improvisations he does. And then you get the sense that after he does this, he's kind of missing his old life and thinking about going back to it. I thought this was great. I think the art is also really good. And anyway, check it out. Gambit #1, really good stuff. Spider-Man #4. I'm still not really loving this miniseries. And I don't understand it because it's Bendis and Pichelli. I mean, I love current Ultimate Spider-Man. I really like Miles Morales. The problem is, this is just not what this just isn't what you'd want from this book, I don't think. I don't feel like either Peter Parker or Miles really get a lot to do in this, and especially together. I mean, what would be fun about this, if it was done right, would be seeing how these two work together. And for a 5-issue miniseries, the storytelling really feels like it's in the same mode as Ultimate Spider-Man, i.e., it takes as long to get anywhere, but it's only 5 issues. So I'm really getting the sense right now that all the action is going to happen in the last issue, and that, you know, Mysterio is going to get beat really fast, and then the series is over, and that's it. All they're really exploring is just the idea of alternate universes, of alternate Earths. We've been there. We've done that. Maybe I've read comic books for so many years that I'm just completely desensitized to the sheer awesomeness and also confusion of what if I met myself in another dimension. But like, I'm kind of over that, you know? A lot of years watching Mirror Universe Star Trek episodes and reading Marvel and DC comics and going through crises and stuff. Yeah, that's not what's interesting about those. It's about seeing what you can do getting these characters together. And this one focuses primarily on Gwen Stacy and Aunt May in the Ultimate Universe, and just their reactions to seeing Peter Parker alive, this Peter Parker from another dimension, and then that's it. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I don't know. I've been really disappointed with this miniseries. But we'll see what 5's like. Moving on, Venom #22. This ends Rick Morender's run on Venom. And I feel even a little bit strange saying that, because I never thought this book would go beyond Remender. I'm really surprised that it's continuing, and congratulations to Cullen Bunn for getting this book and for keeping going with it. And I think he's been doing a pretty good job writing with Remender for the last, the last arc before this. I am glad that I mean, of course, I don't like Cullen Bunn's writing on this as much as Remender, because I just love Remender on Venom. I don't think I would have liked anybody as well, you know. But I think he's done a pretty good job. And the thing is, I am glad though that Remender got to write this last issue by himself, just because it's the end of his run, and he had such a voice for this character, and he had such a vision for where he wanted to take him. But like I said, I never really expected to see the book continue beyond Remender. This didn't strike me as a concept for an ongoing that would just keep going and going. Like, is this going to be Venom's status quo for a long time? Flash Thompson in the Venom costume doing soldier stuff? Like, is that going to be Venom for the foreseeable future? I'm fine with it if it is. I think it's a great concept. Remender totally sold me on it. I'm just really surprised if that's their plan. But anyway, this ends everything with the Jack-o'-lantern, and really kind of ties up some things with Flash Thompson and his father. Now, of course, his father we saw die issues ago, but he's still dealing with a lot of things going on with that, and there's some paralleling going on between the death of the Crime Master, who the Jack-o'-lantern saw as his father, that we learned last issue wasn't really his father. He was just led to believe he was, but it didn't matter to him because he always thought he was his father anyway. And so there's some paralleling going on there, and there's some just, straight up revenge stuff going on with, between Jack-o'-lantern and Venom. It was fine. It's pretty good. And again, I feel like the book could have ended here, and it would have been okay. But I mean, I love Flash Thompson in the Venom suit. I'm perfectly willing to keep going with it, and I'm perfectly willing to give Cullen Bunn a chance, and see where he takes the character. I'm going to miss Remender on this book, but I'm also really excited for things to come, because it was announced just recently that Remender is getting Captain America in Marvel Now, and that's fantastic. I can't wait to see what he does with it. So anyway, that's Venom. Let's go on now to Avengers Assemble number 6. Just fun Avengers stuff. I thought it was funny opening this up. You get to the second page and you see this huge panel of characters that are all Avengers on Avengers teams. And of course, this book has been focusing on the characters that are in the Avengers movie and letting them have a book together, but in mainstream continuity. And I've been enjoying that because you don't have to follow so many different characters, and it's more manageable. But you look at this panel, and it's kind of just my argument against the way Avengers has been handled in the last few years. Not to say that there haven't been great Avengers stories in the last few years. I'm not saying that. But just the fact that when you look at a lineup of everybody on an Avengers team, and this probably isn't even everybody, but if you look at a lineup of everybody that's on some Avengers team, and you say, these are the Avengers, that's not the Avengers, that's the Marvel Universe. I mean, like, they're synonymous now. Avengers equals superheroes in the Marvel Universe, pretty much. Except for people that you sometimes wonder if you can even call a superhero. Like, Deadpool is not on an Avengers team, and Punisher is not on an Avengers team, but like characters that we always saw as kind of rogue heroes, they're all on teams now, and anyway, that panel just kind of cracked me up. I still don't like Daredevil on a team. I mean, I don't like Spider-Man on a team, but I really don't like Daredevil anyway, whatever. I've heard that some great things have been going on with that. I still resist it, and I want to get to read, if I'm going to read an Avengers title, I want one like this that's a manageable set of people, so that you don't just have all these people in the background while you're focusing on 2 or 3. Sorry, I seem to bring that up every time we talk about this book, but I felt the need to say it here because we had that panel, and it just totally illustrates my frustration with Avengers. But it's a great looking panel. It's always fun to see the entire Marvel Universe in one panel. I really enjoy the Guardians of the Galaxy in this. I'm so sold on the Guardians right now. I'm not a big Guardians fan. I don't know a whole lot about them. I do own the first run of Guardians of the Galaxy. Haven't read it yet. Planning on doing a vault on them, so look for that soon. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I'm planning on it. They're great here. So much comedy. So much fun stuff here. Rocket Raccoon has this great line where he says that humans have done nothing meaningful for the galaxy except invent the Egg McMuffin. It cracks me up. But anyway, basically this whole thing, I mean, it's not real thick plotting. It's pretty much the Avengers versus this alien race that Thanos has hired to help him with his big galaxy domination plans, and he's got his hands on a cosmic cube, and hilarity and action-packed adventure ensues. That's Avengers Assemble. Really classically kind of written comic book, and I'm really enjoying it, and Bendis is doing a great job with this book. Great stuff. Like I said, book ending with Batman, so here comes another Batman book. This is Batman number 12. Okay, people have been asking me, let me go ahead and mention this really quick, whether or not I'm going to do a vault on Court of the Owls, and why I haven't been talking about Court of the Owls in the vaults. The reason is because, for a while, the books weren't getting in my pulls for some reason. They showed up on Comixology in my subscription section, but not in my pull list section for each week. I don't know why. And so I'm missing 2 or 3 of them. So I've not finished Court of the Owls. I'm sorry to say. So I'm reviewing this one having not finished Court of the Owls, which works out okay because this is a standalone story that takes place actually toward the beginning of Court of the Owls as far as I can tell. So anyway, yes, I'm planning on doing that. I'm sorry I haven't been able to bring that to you, but I've got to get my hands on those other 2 books, and I actually don't physically, personally know anyone in the area that was reading that, and I can't borrow them from anyone. So yeah, I know. So I gotta get them, and it's gonna take me a little while because they sell out at my comic book store every time the book comes in. Anyway, real quick, this is a nice little one and done about this girl who works for the who works on the electronics in Gotham, and it gets really kind of in depth about how the electrical system in Gotham works, which is kind of interesting. And basically, she is invited to this gala that a lot of galas today. She's invited to this gala that Bruce Wayne is throwing, and then and there's some neat stuff with her and Alfred, because this kind of juxtaposition of how the poor people live versus the people at the top, and she's saying things to Alfred like, I really appreciate what Bruce Wayne is doing, but to help out people like me, but on the other hand, he doesn't understand people like me, and he doesn't understand what it's like to live in the Narrows. He's never been to the Narrows. And Alfred says, "Oh, you'd be surprised," and I like that a lot. Basically, Batman saves her and her brother from this gang, and then she decides she wants to pay Batman back by helping him out with electrical stuff in Gotham, because she finds this box, what she calls a bat box, and discovers that Batman has this ability to shut down parts of the grid whenever he needs to, either usually to shut down cameras because he doesn't want cameras to find him. And I really like that Snyder is dealing with the whole modern technology thing with Batman. How does Batman manage to remain anything like an urban legend? How does Batman manage to not get videotaped by everything all the time? And in fact, of course, he's not really an urban legend anymore because here, she goes on YouTube and finds, plenty of footage of Batman. Not a lot, but enough that, okay, obviously it's the same guy and he exists. Anyway, and then she tries to pay him back, and I won't give away the ending. But it's a nice one-shot story. If you haven't been following Snyder's Batman and you want to get a sense of how he writes and what his stories are like, this wouldn't be a terrible one to pick up. Although it's more this character piece about this minor character, and she's interesting, and it's quite good. But it won't tell you a whole lot about how he writes Batman. But it'll give you kind of a feel for how he does character stuff. But anyway, so that's my 6 for today. Thanks as always for watching the Comic Book Vault, and if you have anything you'd ever like to see me or Vince review in the Vault, you can always send that to our P.O. Box, and that's Geekvolution, P.O. Box 14183, Lenexa, Kansas 66285. I'll be back with you tomorrow for another episode of the Comic Book Vault, and of course next week for more new acquisitions. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Captain Logan, and happy reading.